Good morning, everybody. Let's do a little live drive. Live drive. It's live to me. It's recorded for you for later. Everything's fake. All fake. Doesn't matter. Fake slabs, fake cards, fake people. That's really probably part of it. But so the altered Tom Brady that went from 6 to an 8. I don't have a problem with it because they graded it as an 8. So, according to the PSA, the greatest company on the planet for grading, that card is an 8 now. Are they going to do their due diligence to track previous cards graded moving forward? I hope so in this type of an instance, but it shouldn't matter because we have the ability to make cards better. When you clean a card, whether you're wiping the surface off, you altered the card based on the way that the hobby talks about any type of alteration. That goes really back to vintage because people were trimming, cleaning stuff up, using coloring agents and things like that to make a card better than what it was. Well, that's no different. They're still making a card better than what it was. Whether it's fresh out of the pack, been sitting in your 5,000 count box for 35 years, doesn't really matter. If PSA graded an 8, that card is now an 8. So it's basically if your girlfriend went and got some bolt-ons, I'm talking about fakies, went and got her lips done, dyed her hair and got a new haircut, and she basically improved from a 5 to a 7 or a 6 to an 8. So, and then hit the gym. Maybe she hit a 9, bam. No different. Things can get better. What I want the card knowing that card, yeah, I don't care. I really don't care because that card, to obtain that card is ridiculous, to be honest with you, at any level. I mean, that's one of those cards that maybe one day it'll look like one of those Jordan cards that's like just authenticated and every corner's look like it's been chewed up by a dog, but Tom Brady's autograph's still on it and it's still, one of his rarest cards to obtain. So maybe do you want to pay that much for it? I don't know. I think that comes down to the person buying it, because at some point those aren't going to be available for anybody and you're gonna have to take what's available, and there's always going to be a bidding war of at least 2 people more than likely looking for that card, and it's their money, and if you have enough of it and you don't want to lose, you're going to do the best you can to make sure you win that. Same thing with an eBay auction. A quick little secret. Sometimes if I want to win something, and I know it's not going to go over 100, 101, it's going to be one of those things, if I lose it, it's like by $1 or $2. I get crazy. I'll be like, $500, even though this is a $50 card, $500. Because you know what? I'm not going to see it again, and I'm not going to lose it. And if I end up having to pay $500, well, that's on me. I mean, somebody else did the same thing. But let's face it, everybody unfortunately cancels all their eBay stuff and then has to relist it all the time. So that's something eBay needs to work on as well. Completely different thing. The scandals going on with vintage breaks. I say scandals, it's stuff that happened. Vintage breaks, the guy trying to come back and give the reason why he didn't do it. Listen, we all know a pack's a pack, and based on maybe a possible damaged card in the package, you don't want to give it to them. What if that has the best card in the entire set? What happens if that card's not messed up and that card grades really well? So you have to open that pack to find that out. It's one of those things where if you're going to do something like that, you need to make sure that the user or person's available to make a decision. Hey, do you still want me to open this pack, or do you want me to open another one? Because we've seen a lot of busted up blasters at Walmarts and Targets, and those blasters for some reason deliver. It's something about the ugly duckling turning into a princess, and you can't do it. You just don't swap pack. You put it on camera, you keep it on camera. A lot of these guys, their etiquette is god awful horrible. I don't mind the pitchman. I enjoy that. I don't like it when I see a guy who's like, oh, Devontae Parker to 25. Wow, what a hit. It's a freaking $10 card for a $200 spot you just got into. I can't. It makes me cringe when I hear it. Talking about other content creators, AIH That's right, AIH or AHI. Oh, it doesn't matter. Y'all know who I'm talking about if you're following any card stuff. He had a live stream with some gentleman on there, and that had to be one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life, with the hypocrisy that was going on, the misinformation and opinionated jousting that was going on to create a direction for certain things. The one that really got me is when we were talking about gold and silver being a tangible object. It's no different than an NFT, because that's what stocks are. They're NFTs. Yeah, are they backed by a company? Yeah, but you never hold it, you never touch it, you move it in, you move it out, it's all digital. It's an NFT for a company, and you're making go up or down based on earnings. The stock market's a joke now. It's controlled by a massive group of people, like they always have been. They hate the little people that come into here, like what is the AMC and the GameStop stuff. That was controlled by the people. And the big firms that used to have money in that, once that happened, they took it all out. Because they couldn't handle it anymore, because we were messing with their dollar, and since they weren't in control anymore, they just left the space. That's the funny part. They straight up left. So remember this: when you see all the stocks go down at one time, that's an algorithm. A computer is making a decision based on data to make them money. Has nothing to do with me and you going to our stock and going, I'm selling this because this isn't a good idea. Okay? That's basically what that crap is. So it's no different than everything else. They like to compare apples to oranges or oranges to apples, and it just doesn't work that way. So blah, get it out of my face. One of the other things too is I'm trying to figure out, I like comic books, I like comic cards. I saw that the metal release finally has happened. Does this create a push or a boom for the precious metal gems going backwards? I don't think it does. I think it just, all the new stuff for those collectors, because comic collectors are more collectors than they are investors and flippers. It's where the sports card guy got into the comic side version of the card, and it was using it as a flipping tool. And if they can get into the product and hit big, that's fine. But it's $600 a box for something that honestly shouldn't be over $200. I can't touch it. I mean, if I got into it, it'd be a break, and I don't even know how they do breaks. Whether it's by character, by version of characters, like all the Spidey people get a spot, all the X-Men get. I don't really know how that works. It's Spider-Man, so I don't even know all the characters in it. But the thing that I dislike about the product right now is they kept it so much the same as before, outside of images. And I'm fine with the set having its standard inserts, but can you improve the insert a little bit? Is all I'm saying. People chase these things due to rarity. Some of them honestly do not look good in my opinion. At least some of the designs don't, or characters on those designs are not great designs, but still sell for a lot of money. And that's because of the collector, not because of the general hobbyist or flipper. So those first wave of those are probably going to go pretty high, because people that want them are going to go get them. And then if you hit those rare precious metal gems, basically, I don't know if they're numbered to 25 or less or 50 or less, those are going to be your big hitters. Obviously, tens and ones are going to be banana money, especially on the open first market. Everything's coming fresh out of packs. I don't know what condition these PMGs are coming out of packs right now, but probably no worse than a 7, I would say, on average. Most of the PMGs in the past were damaged because they sat in boxes. They were in, 9 carded sleeves in a binder, and you had to pull them out, and they just didn't handle that. The technology should make it to where they don't chip. The laser etching and cutting that we do today shouldn't make them chip. The card should come out at no less than a 9 every single time, even with packaging and moving around and all that good stuff, but they just haven't figured out a way to make it work. Something like that, where you're getting a product, I would almost prefer them to somehow make a set that comes boxed, everything already pre-sleeved, and in a pull-apart plastic shell, and then in a box, something fancy. I guarantee a PMG per box for a specific set, and it's only available through that box. It's a great selling point and idea. I don't work for them yet. I got a lot of thousands of ideas, so if somebody's bored and wants to hire me, just let me pick stuff apart, tell you what's good, what's bad, what people like and don't like, and I guarantee I can get you some dynamite product that pops out. But yeah, you're gonna have to listen to me, because it seems like half these people that are making this stuff are not making it to truly drive sales from the collector, the flipper, and the just general hobbyist. Like, the pricing right now is ridiculous. Like, you have to give somebody the ability to get into it that can't do it. A kid cannot buy a pack of this stuff. Okay, it's comics. We grow up on this as children. I can't buy a pack as a kid. I can't buy a pack as an adult. So, I mean, I probably can, but it's still, you're putting yourself out there and you're taking a risk. It's, at this point, it's straight gambling. It has nothing to do with the enjoyment of the hobby. Straight gambling. That's what this pricing is. And it's very disappointing because they're building something that's going to cause an issue for a lot of people. Go Bucks. Other thing, just jump over to that while I stopped ranting on that. Bucks, Tom Brady steps back onto the field after his hiatus, whether he was off on vacation, doing the Masked Singer, filming something, who knows. The guy straight disappeared for 2 weeks and nobody knew where he was. Personally, I don't think he was in this country. Just because if you're in this country and you can keep stuff that quiet, being that high profile and that easily visual, you know, then you're literally being held in the bunker. You're being transported in a van. You're wearing literally a mask to go outside so nobody knows who you are. And you're not accompanied by your wife or your children where people know who those people are as well. But back to camp, like you never missed a beat. Our offensive line right now is taking a living beat down. Everybody's getting hurt. So, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with that. Maybe the next guy steps up and they're fine. Brady, I'm sure, will adjust, you know, to his countdown in his head, 2-step fire, to help create that confidence for those guys and, get the job done. But, I mean, my biggest fear in our division is the Saints. I think they're going to be very good. At least a 9-win team, maybe 10, especially if Jameis is healthy all year long. They have a good team, so that's our competition in our division, especially. But we'll see. Football's starting up. I'm excited. The very end of Optic or Panini's product for football is pretty much coming out. After this, in the next month or two, we'll probably hear the sell to Fanatics. They're just trying to get their money grab. I don't know if they'll retain the staffs over there because Fanatics is doing things a lot different than the Panini group. That's a very secretive group of people. They have like a closed round table of people who know what really gets printed, what goes on, the numbers and things like that. The other guys on the outside don't get a full glimpse into all that stuff ever. They actually have paperwork that even allows them not to, from what I was told. But I worry about the Fanatics takeover because they're a money-driven company. And they're about making money. They're about growth. They have people to answer to as groups. And, I mean, I just hope that they build the hobby for the hobby and collector and let everything else play itself out. But there's going to be some really hard money grabs. Because they got to make up a lot of money at the same time, which honestly, in the current market, shouldn't be very difficult if they do it right. I know some people said they had talked to them, I think at the Collective or Mint, whichever one of those shows that was on, that they sat down and it sounded like they had a good plan. But, you know, talk is cheap, buddy. I need y'all to do something. And, you know, right now, outside of the Zero Cool stuff, which everybody's like, oh, this is so cool, Zero Cool. I haven't found it cool. The idea is there for what we all want. We have not seen that yet, still from the celebrity side. Yeah, print a nice thick card on a nice gloss with an on-card auto. That's awesome. It's great for a collective group of fans. But the whole goal of what they do is create mass appeal. And they need to create mass appeal. And I just don't know what marketing is done through any of these companies to create what they really need to do. They want to grow the hobby. They want to make their stuff worldwide and things like that, you know, and I don't know what the divisions of these groups are even doing or thinking at this point. I mean, I know all the stuff I would try to pull off with what's going on and put in play, and I would do that immediately. If they lay this out softly, they're going to probably run into trouble up front with what's going on. And it matters who they're retaining as well from these other companies. But I think that's part of the issue. A lot of these companies, I feel like internally is very political. And it's just like politics. If you don't get the old guard out, nothing new changes. You don't get the new, fresh, young thought process. You don't get the person that understands the newer, younger group of people. They're living off the old guard, and they're just sitting there pretty and just counting their money and, basically, doing whatever somebody else paid them to do and get their way. And we got to get away from that and start new, fresh ideas, fresh blood. I want to see technology-driven things in this hobby, not NFTs. Stuff accompanied by NFTs is fine. NFTs on their own, personally, are a joke. And even though I do own some, because you want to dip your toe and do it a little bit just in case. We've seen, look what's going on right now. Who's pitching NFTs? Who's buying NFTs? Right now, if you really believe in NFTs, this is your buy time. Buy low. Oh, baby, it's low. Buy low. You know how many people are buying a ton of crypto right now? Not a lot. All these billionaire, millionaire people that own all this Bitcoin, half of them sold that. They haven't bought back in. Otherwise, Bitcoin would have gone up 10K already. Tom Brady's of the world and stuff, go say, hey, yeah, I'm going to go buy 2,000 Bitcoin right now because it's cheap. They're not doing it. Why? It's really, really curious, because they want to wait for the upswing. They're not going to try and catch it at the bottom. They want to catch it going up. It's only going to go up, though, if those people buy it, because banks and companies aren't out buying Bitcoin right now. Nobody's saying, hey, you can now pay with Bitcoin. All that's been like, nothing's going well right now, guys. Let's not do this. So be careful with that. Digital currency is the future. I don't know how it's going to play out, because the US dollar will be digital. I think, next year or in 2025, they will stop minting the penny. No more pennies. Everything's a nickel or higher. And then at some point, they're going to stop minting nickels too, because a nickel is 5 cents, and I think it's worth 7 and 9 cents in metal. So what's the point of keeping it when somebody can take all their nickels, melt them, and then go to the refinery and then make more money? These are the type of things that control markets, that create levels. And you got to remember, this affects every single portion of what we do, whether it's a hobby, a collectible, a tangible, something you eat, drink, whatever it is. All these things have what's called the trickle effect, or what I call the accordion effect. Goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. This is what this stuff does. All right, guys, rolling into work here. Got my rants on. I'm fresh. I'm ready to roll today. We're going to get some stuff done. Big old Wednesday. I am going fishing tomorrow on the Hubbards out of John's Pass. I hope to have a little bit of video of me fishing. The clients I'm going with, I cannot keep on camera due to rules and regulations. Staff I can, but I can't have any clients in my videos. So if there is any video, it's going to be literally of me, or me pointing my camera down, or I'll edit it to where nobody else is in it. But we'll see. We also got some storms coming. We're probably going to have a hurricane come right by us in about a week. But all right, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate y'all. And hopefully everybody's doing good. Let me know what you think in the below. Did I just make a fool of myself? Or does it sound about right?